What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, remember to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, get notified of all our latest activity. Of course, leave your thoughts, leave your comments below in the comment section about the topics that we discuss here. So yeah, the big action on the weekend, the return to the ring of Canelo, who had only been out of the ring for just over 2 months, I think 9 months coming into this fight. He faced off against the Turkish wolf called Yildrim, and this was one of those fights where it was a gimme fight. It was a stay busy fight because Yildrim was up there as the, I think, WBC mandatory from the time when David Benavidez held it before he lost it on the scales. So he was a mandatory, lost to Anthony Durrell 2019. So he was coming into this fight having been inactive for a period of 2 years, and he was the mandatory somehow. So it was one of them where, as I said in my prediction video, Canelo was the clear favorite. There was nothing that Yildrim really had skill-wise or aggression-wise, because you get aggressive with Canelo, you're gonna lose. That's the bottom line, because you're not as quick as him. He's not as quick as Canelo. He had no asset really that could trouble Canelo. That was sort of my argument going into this fight, and pretty much that is what happened. I mean, I think pretty much everyone predicted the same thing. And with this fight, from the word go, from the opening bell, it was like Yildrim was just a deer in the headlights. He just completely froze. I was thinking maybe similar to the commentary that is he trying to be patient? Is he trying to wait for Canelo to tire himself out? If he is trying to wait for Canelo to tire himself out, he is going to be waiting all night, because Canelo ain't going to tire himself up. And from the very first round, Canelo just broke him down and just beat him up. He beat him up like it was basically, this Yildrim was basically like a punch bag for this throughout this whole fight. What was it, 3 rounds that it lasted, and from round 1, Canelo was just landing at will. Yildrim was coming with this defense like this, and we know with Canelo, he's a ferocious body puncher. So all Canelo was doing, he's coming with his guard like that, and he's just walking in. He hardly threw a punch. The guy, I don't know how many, he might have thrown 5 punches in the whole fight. You know, he threw absolutely nothing against Canelo. It was almost as if maybe he was scared to hit Canelo in case he gets hit back, but it's like, you're gonna get hit anyway. But he basically just boxed with a high guard, this Yildrim, and just kept walking forward and getting hit. And that was what happened. And Canelo, you know Canelo, you got a high guard, I'm gonna whack you to the body. And that's what Canelo had done. He just destroyed him to the body. Right hooks, left hooks to the body. And then he was splitting the guard with uppercuts. It was basically, this fight, the whole thing was just target practice for Canelo. And you know, for me, the only, I can't even say it's a disappointment, but well, I'll say it's kind of a disappointment. My disappointment is slightly with Yildrim, that he didn't give it a go. Don't get me wrong, I thought, of course, Canelo's going to win. Canelo's going to mop the floor with him, but he didn't even give it a go. He didn't even try to throw any punches. He was just in there, just walking around with a high guard, getting lit up with punches all over the place. And Canelo was just throwing every punch in the book, uppercuts, hooks, splitting the guard with right hands and uppercuts to the head. And it was just like going to a shooting range with a gun, just rattling, shooting at a target that's just standing there, that's just static. And that's all it was, really. Good on Canelo for doing it. He done very well. He done exactly what we said he was going to do. He just beat him like a drum and just gave him a battering. And you could tell even between rounds in the corner, Joel Diaz was saying, are you okay? Did he hurt you already? Like after the first round, I think he was saying, did he hurt you already? Did he hurt you already? So you could tell that Diaz knew it was going to be an uphill battle, and he knew his man wasn't responding, and it was the same throughout all the rounds. Yildrim was just staring into space in between the 2-3 rounds he lasted, and he just was unresponsive. And I think it's one of them where he just froze, and he was never going to beat Canelo anyway. But once he started feeling those shots, I think mentally he probably just capitulated and just gave up. I mean, at some points he was even interestingly smiling when he was getting hit, which is I don't know why, but maybe he likes being hurt. So I mean, yeah, it was just as a good little run out for Canelo, and then we'll get to Billy Joe Saunders. There's been some fighters complaining. Chris Eubank Jr. was saying that, yeah, they're calling pound for pound. I knocked this guy out in 3 rounds. Why is he fighting him? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, as some have said, even Ring IQ's channel has said, you know, look, the thing is, even as I said myself previous video, you know, Canelo, you can't really complain about who he fights now, because he's been fighting back-to-back world champions over the years. You know, the last guy he fought before Yildrim was a Ring Magazine and I think WBA super middleweight champion. So you can't sniff at that guy, although many people say, he's English. If you know, some people got this bias against English fighters that he's English, therefore he's rubbish and he can't fight and blah blah blah. But then a lot of these American fighters and whatever, they're not stepping up to fight Canelo. So, you know, Smith, he went in a tournament, won his belts outright, fought some of the best who were in that tournament, and came out on top, unified champion of super middleweight. So he had a lot of credentials going into it, undefeated. I mean, no one out there in super middleweight can, apart from Canelo, can really claim to have done much more than Callum Smith. So for people to criticize that opposition, you're crazy, because what super middleweight that's about now it would be more credible than Smith was, with his Ring Magazine belt and all that. You know what I mean? It's I don't see one. So yeah, you can't really criticize him. He's fought Kovalev as well, light heavyweight world champion. Yeah, past his best, but at the end of the day, he's a light heavyweight who could punch. So you could argue, well, he could just crack and knock Canelo out, but Canelo knocked him out. So Canelo's been fighting back to back top level guys. So you know, if he has one gimme fight, is what it is. So the good news about it, though, gonna move on to Billy Joe Saunders, and you know, that's gonna be a topic of the next video. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about this fight. Kind of a punch bag performance, and you know, Canelo just displayed his skills for 3 rounds against a target that was just there to be hit. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one, and until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out. Catch you on the next one.